Hello and welcome back for another historic gameplay video. Today we're going to be playing Ruby Storm, and we've made a few minor adjustments to the deck that we played last time, just to test out some new cards. What we did in this version was in the main deck, we shaved both copies of Rob the Archives and both copies of Firebrain Scheme, and we brought in Spellchain Scatter, which is a 1-mana instant from Alchemy 23. And what it's going to do is let us conjure a duplicate of the very next instant or sorcery spell that we play into our hand. And then since usually we're not going to have blue mana, we won't be kicking this. So if we don't play that card in the same turn cycle, it's going to get discarded. So not necessarily a good card to start your chain off, but once you're in the middle of chaining, then you can pick either a ritual card or a cantrip, depending on which one you're light on, and get a duplicate of it in your hand. And then if you're playing this with a Burgi in play, it should be mana positive. Then we also made some minor tweaks to the sideboard as well. Since we were taking out Rob the Archives, we also took out the Unstable Amulets, and that freed up space for one copy of Urbrask's Forge, which we're hoping can help us win some games against control decks, or decks where our graveyard is shut off. And then with the free spot, we also brought in another copy of Prismatic Ending. This is one of the cards that we reach for most frequently in sideboarding, so we're going to try to have an extra copy and see if that helps or hurts our game plan. The rest of the deck is the same as last time. Since we had good success, I don't want to change too much all at once. Just do minor tweaks, see how they feel, and then we can either keep them, adjust them further, or revert back to the previous version, depending on how the deck does. So with that said, let's jump into the matches. Game 1, Match 1, we've won the die roll. We'll play first. And then this hand, a little bit too Ral heavy. Don't even have 2 lands. I'll take a mulligan. This one, not necessarily much better. Here it's between putting back Storm of Memories or Reckless Impulse. I think we'll put back one of the Impulse here, try to high roll. We'll get our treasure down. This can let us cycle Metamorphose next turn, or Reckless Impulse if we don't draw a land, but we do hit one. And then here, we're just going to Impulse, try and find our next land drop. We find the Ritual as well, so we have a chance to go off next turn, although with just Metamorphose, don't know if we can. Fairly slow start from our opponent. Let's see here, we have to Ritual before playing out Burgi. And then with Ren's Resolve in hand, I think we are going to try and start the chain here. And we just need red in game 1. Not the best. And here we're going to stall out. Unfortunate. This will flip the growing rights, so they're going to have a big turn next turn, although this turn is nothing to laugh at. Play out Ral.
Just a rain mage, nothing to see here.
Let's see, if we play out Strike It Rich, it's mana neutral, so that'll build Storm for Storm of Memories. That's our second spell, second instant sorcery spell. This is 3. Turn on full control in case we flip into another ritual or something that we want to cast. There's Metamorphose, so we will cast this here. Another Metamorphose. Any flip we win now will transform her out, and that theoretically should be game over. It's very hard to lose after he ultimates from this position. Although I didn't really want to hit all of our Metamorphose here at the end. They're good at generating mana, but they're not going to win the game for us.
The new world has given me so many new ideas.
So ultimate,
I will be
Jessica's Will is great. So here we get to use our spell chain, double up Jessica's Will, and we can turn off full control now. Exile 6 cards. Well, 3 and 3. And that's enough for our opponent to concede. Against the elf deck, probably just want to go faster than them. Looks like our opponent threw the whole match. Match 2. We won the die roll again. This is similar to the hand that we kept last game. So I guess we have to keep it again. Play out Strike It Rich, pass the turn. Fabled Passage. And luckily we hit another land here. So we could play out Bergie. Actually, Jessica's Will here should do it for us. Add a bunch of mana. Get Bergie down. Metamorphose. Red, red. Then I think we can... yeah, I think we'll still use the spell chain here. We have decent mana with Bergie, so we're really looking for cards. Opponent holding full priority there. Not going to stop us from playing out. Not at this point. I think if they had a counter spell, they would have used it on Jessica's Will. That's not the best. So we really need to hit a ritual here to keep going. Strike It Rich. Going to go mana positive, but not going to do it. So this is 2 games in a row where we had a pretty good turn going, and then we just fizzled. Can't play out Horn either here. Suppose we can play out another Strike It Rich. Try and set up for next turn. Unfortunate. You don't normally fizzle when you see that many cards. Exploration. Is this a Valakut deck? Well, whatever it is, our opponent is stuck on mana. We'll go grab a mountain here, play out the Horn. And then I think we're just attacking this turn. Hard to believe our opponent kept a 1-lander. It is Valakut. Now they have 2 of them all of a sudden. So don't know what our opponent was doing last turn. Strike It Rich is something we don't mind discarding. Flip over a couple lands. We'll discard the other spell chain here. This looks like it should do it. Metamorphose. Another Metamorphose. Play the Ren's Resolve from exile. Ritual. fetch to thin. We can impulse here and then still play out Storm of Memories. And we can even copy it. This will likely prompt a concession once it goes on the stack. We'll hold full control again in case we flip into an instant. And there's the concession. So here we definitely want our Magus of the Moon. Don't know what kind of hate pieces this deck is running these days for graveyard hate. Say Prismatic Ending is tough to get up to 3 mana. Not going to get up to 6 for their Titan. Don't expect any counter magic. So maybe we bring in a couple copies of Wear Tear. And we are sadly just going to be shaving Spell Chain in the post-board matchups. That just is the slot that happens to get cut, unless we're up against significant graveyard hate, in which case Storm of Memories gets shaved down. And so, yep, we'll run it back with this configuration, and we can adjust in game 3 if we need. This hand is a bit too land heavy. I'll take a mulligan. This has the opposite problem. And on 5, I think we have to keep. And we'll put back the Spell Chain and the redundant Ruby. Don't have high hopes for this one, though. We just had to mulligan too deeply, and our hand is still not any good. Kami for some early ramp. And we want to draw into at least one more land, so we'll hold on to that Vista for now. Won't thin the deck. Did they keep another low land hand? Not this time. Fetch out a mountain, and then Song of Seasons. So a bit of ramp. Alright, now that we've found 3 lands, I think we're good fetching. And we'll play out the Medallion, see if they have a Boseiju in hand. Looks like they have something, and it is a Boseiju. So we'll take the land. And we already have white, so a mountain it is. Grab another mountain with their Vista and another Song of Seasons. So they're getting close to, I think it's 6 mountains of Relicate. 5 other mountains. So they need 1 more. And to strike it rich. Problem is, if we play out Burgi without a cost reducer before we're ready to go, and they find another mountain, they're just going to kill it with Valakut. Similarly, if they find a fetch land, it'll be hard to keep Burgi in play. I think we start by cycling Metamorphose. We find a Ruby Medallion. So let's see, if we play this out, that'll reduce Burgi down to 2. There's an argument that can be made for keeping it in hand. Don't know how many Boseijus they're playing in their decks. One ring will stop us from comboing off next turn. We're not playing the Alchemist, so we don't have any lines that necessarily win through it. Escape Shift would also win if our opponent finds one. So here, I think we're just going to play out our mountain and pass the turn. And there is the Escape Shift, so this should do it. Opponent's going to sacrifice everything except for the Valakuts, so they take them all. That's surprising. Why would you not want the Valakuts in play? Yeah, they could have just left one if this was the line. Would have been more damage too to have 2 of them in play. So they still win, but I don't agree with that line. Here, I don't think we necessarily need to change anything. Just need to be a bit faster. Didn't see any hate pieces either, so maybe we go down one copy of wear tear. What would we bring in? Nothing here really makes us faster. Maybe an ending. Take out something like an exploration. Play first. And this hand is okay. We'll fetch right away. Thin a land out. Vexing Bauble will stop our graveyard lines. Stops for Monsoon Mage Ultimate. And we're going to start on the Medallion here. Should have played out the Vantage there. Origins for a little card selection. And we find a Prismatic Ending. So what we're going to do first is Ren's Resolve. Flip into a Burgie. Could potentially go right here. And we don't necessarily need to use the ending yet. I think we'll just hold it. See if they play out another hate piece before we do so. Vibrance is going to take out Burgie. Wish could also look for an answer to Bauble. Here they could just sacrifice it. What else can Wish get in this scenario? We don't have a sideboard copy of Magus of the Moon. Don't necessarily want to play out Ral by himself. I think we just have to pass here, unfortunately. Our hands the last two games have been pretty bad. Without a Manamorphose, we can't get up to 3 mana to answer that, but that is a prime target. Here, I think we're fine getting a mountain. And we just draw into another Strike It Rich. This is unfortunate. I think it means we're just going to lose next turn. And just thinking what's in our sideboard, I don't think we have any good answers. We could go get our Forge. It's going to be very slow. We will take out the Bauble here while they're tapped out. And then again, I think we just have to, unfortunately, pass the turn and hope our opponent doesn't have it. Another One Ring. Down to 16. And we just draw into another route. We're going to pass the turn again here. Unfortunately, not much we can do. Playing out the Rals naked means that they're just going to die. We don't have a good way to flip them since the cards in our hand are dead. Another One Ring. I think we might need to try and take out the Dryad using our sideboard copy of Grape Shot next turn. So
I just need one.
This is spell 1. Two. 3. 4. 5. and 6. That works, so we'll transform her out. Can play out another one here before ultimating. That means any spells that this one flips should be able to flip the new Rao as well. While we have cost reduction, we'll play these spells first. Wear Tear doesn't exile, so we can't use that to get rid of the ring. Let's see. Flip cards with Ren's Resolve first. Bad luck on flipping our Rao here. There we go. And then
so many new ideas.
We will add a white. Well, I don't think we need the white. We didn't exile Magus, did we? We did. Brutal. Oh my god. Well.
I'd explain the science.
In that case, we'll dig for our main deck. There's Grape Shot, so we'll just use this. Take out the Dryad. If we were playing an Alchemist line, what we would do here is we'd use Wish, create some dragons or some goblins, and then Storm of Memories would get Wish back from the graveyard. And we could use that to get the Alchemist Gambit, take another turn, and be able to swing for lethal all in one shot, getting around the one ring protection. Let's see. Get the medallion down. Might as well Ritual. Can play out Bergie. And then we have our land drop. Here we will just get some dragons. So it comes down to, can our opponent get 3 triggers off Valakut into play? That's annoying. So as I was saying, it comes down to, can our opponent get 3 Valakut triggers on the stack this turn? They're not going to be able to get through on the ground. I suppose they could play out another one ring. Is this the first one in this game, I think? Second one. Exploration. Unless they play a spell here, we're not going to get a priority pass to take it out before they play their land. And Scape Shift. Don't think this matters at this point, but might as well cast it. Yeah, this is going to be enough. Well, we'll see if they mess up, but they just need to grab 5 mountains and 1 Valakut. I don't know why they keep sacrificing the Valakut here. Just means they have 1 less in deck to find later in the game if they needed it. So both of these games we ended up losing because our opponent had the 1 ring on our combo turn and we didn't have a win that wins through it. So this will do. Not going to make them click through it. On to the next. Game 3, won the die roll. This hand is not bad. Keep. Opponent on a mulligan. We'll play out Strike It Rich on turn 1, pass the turn. And they thought seize us. This will probably take route. Ren's Resolve is choice number 2. So if they have some instant speed and removal, they might take the Ren's Resolve. We'll fetch, grab another mountain, play out Ren's Resolve, looking for our land drops next turn, and we find them. Spell Chain works very well with Metamorphose since its mana generation replaces itself, meaning we won't have to discard the card. They're going to ponder here, looking for more discard, I imagine. Nothing yet. And I don't think we use a ritual yet. We'll just start off on the Metamorphose in hand. Make double red. And then with an Impulse, say we can burn one ritual here. We need to play out this beforehand. Flip 2 cards, see what we get. Unfortunate. That's just going to be a small grape shot. And we can spell chain here. Does it do anything for us? No. Because the grape shot's going to be discarded, so it just gets one deeper. I suppose, how many spells did we cast? Suppose it gives us an extra chance at flipping Route. Could have also kicked it there. So, maximum punish. And he would have flipped. That means that all of our spells burn off. And I think we're just going to lose this one. No point. We'll just go to sideboarding. So we want our Orm's Chance. We want our Magus. We want our Squelcher, probably. Maybe even Forge. So we're doing a pretty big juke here. Shave all of the spell chain. And then we need one more cut. Probably going to be a Strike It Rich in this situation. Since we're shaving Storm of Memories, we're not going to bring in any Graveyard Hate. And here this has a turn 2 Magus attempt if we don't get Thought Seized on one. Looks like that's what they're digging for here. Or a Leyline. Nope, they don't find what they're looking for. Don't even want to play out the game. So in this round, does our plan change on the draw? Probably not. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see any of our opponent's sideboard cards there, so we can't adjust our plan here. I think we'll just run it back. And this is a no-lander. Has to be a mulligan. This is better. We'll keep, and then probably the redundant copy of Route, even though they have discard. Probably takes the Route. Could take Burgie. Nope, they go for Ren's Resolve this game. They kept the one-lander. And with 3 Rows in hand, I don't mind drawing out removal spells.
Talent like mine deserves respect.
Play out another one.
Another day, another job.
Thoughtseize, either going to take Jessica's Will or Burgie. They take the Orm's Chant. Surprising. We'll create mana here. Six mana means we can only play one of these, so we'll get the horn down. Hit for 1. Opponent's down to 13 already. Ponder sees 4 cards for another land drop. And I don't believe there was a shuffle there. Another Burgie, not what we're looking for. The ritual is pretty good though. So we can play that out first. Then play out Burgie. I think we're going to discard the other route. Just because will go up mana. And we're going to look for cards here. It's our second spell this turn. This is great. This should be game over. That's 3. 4. This is 5. Wish will be 6. And with this on the stack, we'll play Metamorphose. And there's the concession. So our opponent struggled there a bit. They kept a risky hand based on the fact that it had discard and didn't pay off for them. Quite lucky today. We've won the die roll again. And then this hand actually I think is fine. No disruption. We should be able to combo off on turn 2. Or significantly develop, I should say. Start on Strike It Rich. Up against a red deck is all that we know. We'll lead on Metamorphose. See what we cycle into. And Storm of Memories. This one we can flip with. Ral will reduce our cards. We just double check we did Metamorphose and 2 Jessica's Wills, so that's 3 spells. Oh, I clicked the wrong one. Oh my god. What a punt. I wanted to create mana there. We couldn't even lose in that position. I'm sick. Wow. Unbelievable. Up against goblins too. This should be a very easy matchup for us. Should have been. They have no interaction for our combo as far as I know. I can't believe I clicked the wrong mode there while talking. We can absorb 2 of this damage. This will be the last turn of the game. And unfortunately, we didn't get it there. Here in sideboarding, I don't think there's really anything we need to bring in. We should be pre-boarded for this matchup. You could bring in something like Prismatic Ending. Maybe a couple of those, just in case. We'll play first. This hand is just missing mana. Should still be able to run it back next turn. Similar to last game, try and click on the right modes this time. Fetch up a mountain. Play Strike It Rich. Pass the turn. Prospector. So they have 6 cards in hand, and we have to burn our ritual here since we didn't draw a land. mana this time. Play out Ral.
I just need
Then
one
from
more
here,
breakthrough.
I think we want to create mana again. Again, I almost just clicked on the wrong mode. Don't know what's wrong with me today. This is the third spell. Can flashback strike it rich. That's 4. And then we can even use Prismatic Ending here on the Prospector. And any spell that we flip into, we can flip Ral with. First one. Still going to hold full control in case we flip into something like a Manamorphose. And then here, first one will exile cards. This one, I think we're also going to exile with. Ral's going to flip over a bunch of cards with his ultimate as well. Yeah, and this should do it. Oh, is that all of them already? So these are just going to burn off, unfortunately. We'll get Bergie down first. Can play out the Ruby Medallion. Impulse. Hit our land drop. Use the Vista. Pull another land out of the deck. Then here, might as well just cast Wish. Check what our storm is at. 14. So we're getting there. Ultimate Ral.
Now that's what I call an epic experiment.
Just cast these cards. Should be enough here. Don't think we need to show them anything else. We'll just cycle these off. And then one more. It would have been enough with this Grape Shot itself.
Talent like mine deserves respect.
And then just aim them all at face. Looks like our opponent is not here anymore. Okay, then again, I think we just want to go faster than our opponent. Don't think we need to change anything. This hand is fine. We have a Medallion, we have Ral. Just need to flip some cards. Three mana available for our opponent if they want to sacrifice the Prospector. They hit in for 2. Another Ral, not necessarily what we want to see. We'll try and get the Medallion down. Keep holding priority with Prospector. Four mana available, technically. Scamp is not bad, but it's not powerful enough to take out our Ral or Bergie yet. They can sacrifice it with the Prospector at any time. So here, we'll start on Manamorphose. Again, need to flip into something to draw more cards. Ren's Resolve should do. Play that out. And we fizzle. Do we play out the Vista? Opponent has 10 damage on board already without haste. Go up to 13 damage if they find a haste creature that is not a lord, and a lord would just kill us. So I think that we will. Alternatively, we could try and grape shot some things. Don't hate that. So if we play out Ral first for Storm. I'll just get the Ruby Medallion down for Storm though. Then Grape Shot should be able to take out 3 of these. Once the Lord dies, then the Snoop and the Prospector will die as well. You take out the Horde Master, or you click on the Horde Master first, you take it out last so that they don't get to flip cards. I guess they know to sacrifice with the Prospector, but usually they wouldn't get to flip any cards here. Love to see another land go. That's another Scamp. They hit 3 creatures. So that's about as good as our opponent could have hoped for. And they can even give them haste here, so... $10 damage coming in if they sacrifice both of the Scamps. They do not. And Storm of Memories is probably not going to help us here. I have to play out a Ral to build Storm. This is spell number 1.
Rain Mage, nothing to see here.
Manamorphose will go mana positive. Another Ral, not any good. And the Grape Shot. Make sure we target the right ones here. So pretty bad flips this game. A lot of redundant effects. Face up here, we can see 6 cost reducers. Can't control the top of the deck, unfortunately. They just go face. So at this point too, Ral is a liability because a couple failed coin flips and he's just going to kill us himself. Meaning we're unlikely to get him to ultimate. This is actually a godsend. Get him off the board. But Prismatic Vista, not going to do it. So we drop this one. Unfortunately, I forgot to hit record in the 5th match here. We were up against a Jund deck, and in game 1, our opponent had an early Fatal Push for our Ral Monsoon Mage. But then after that, they just had a couple Rumbles, and they had a Jarls that they played out, but we were able to storm off through it. Then when it came to sideboarding, I thought we were going to be in a bit of trouble in the 2nd and 3rd games since the Jund deck is very strong against Storm. They have a lot of interaction for both our creatures and discard, making it a tough matchup. But the 2nd game, our opponent did have a early Thoughtseize and then had a follow-up Jarls as well, but then didn't really play out too much after that, which allowed us to assemble our combo again. And we ended up taking the first 2 games there, so didn't even need a game 3. Again, apologies for not hitting the record button. All right, so there you have the deck. We went 3-2 today, but honestly feel like we could have very easily gone 5-0. We punted game 1 against Goblins, where at that point it was pretty deterministic if I clicked the right mode. And so we would have won that match. And then the other one that we lost against Valakut, we had 2 pretty horrific hands and set of draws. And even at that, if our opponent didn't have the 1 ring in both games right on our combo turn, we would have been able to win those as well. Against decks like elves and goblins, we expect to just completely run them over. And then in the third matchup against the Mirror, don't even know what they were playing outside of the colors. They had a few interactive spells, a couple cantrips, but never really played anything to let us know what their game plan was. And then in that last matchup against Jund, again, a very difficult matchup for our deck since they have so much interaction for what we're doing, but we were able to combo off quickly before they were able to disrupt us and get the wins in that matchup. When it comes to the spell chain scatter that we were testing out this league, I would say it's just okay. I actually think Firebrain, while not my favorite card, is better in that slot since it does give us some additional selection, which in this deck is probably more important. You want to make sure that you can continue to hit either your rituals or your cantrips to continue comboing. The spell chain can create some poor lines in the deck, whereas say you only have one ritual in your hand and you want to copy it to create additional mana, you do need to have enough starting mana to play the spell chain first and then the ritual, whereas a lot of combo turns you're actually playing the ritual out first in order to catapult your mana out so that you can play your cantrips that follow, meaning there's a bit of a negative synergy with the way the spell chain wants to be played out. In those situations, the card Flashback would probably be better, but that's something that we have yet to test on the channel. Another card I want to take a look at in this shell is Artist Talent. It can act as another cost reducer. That is another card type, making it more difficult for your opponent to interact with everything that you're capable of doing. And then it also has a bit of built-in selection, letting you loot each time you play a spell. So those are some changes that we're going to be looking at in the coming weeks. And until then, I'd like to thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more content.